Yo, what's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the Glassman's World. I'm Dan the Glassman, and we are trying out a new experimental garden technique that I saw on YouTube. Actually, I do a lot of research on YouTube and a lot of videos and things. Let me shut this down. I always got my items available. If you're ever local and you need me to come and deliver some glass or anything, you need some gifts, let me know. All right, so this is the garden I've been working on for like over a year now. The whole front yard, basically we were growing in here last year. We had a bunch of corn and squash, and then this pathway I was able to unbury, which I guess used to go to the backyard. This wall used to never be here, so this path used to walk all the way through to the side here and into their backyard. We built up a little berm here for some flowers and things. There might be some lettuce growing here, different things, plantain, a lot of different weeds and stuff. But this is the area that we started really working on. And last year I added a lot of compost, dug it up, but it's really just dirt. There's not any really good soil amended in here yet. So I'm working on getting this all amended right now. So what we're gonna do is an experimental garden technique that I've seen where you basically, we're gonna wet this down. I've dug it up, I've flattened it out pretty good. It looks pretty flat. I might be able to do a little bit better job. Kind of this corner looks a little lower than that there. But we're going to take this box here, and let me just flatten this out some. I just noticed it's a little bit heavy right there, so I'm going to just bring some of that soil this way. And try to level this out flat. So what we're going to do is we're going to soak this really well, and then we're going to get that cardboard. We're going to lay the cardboard down. We're going to soak the cardboard, and then we're going to cover it with all this dirt. This dirt basically was scraped off the side, or scraped off to the side from there. So we're going to just put the dirt back on it, and then what that's supposed to do is it's supposed to help to promote all the microorganisms, all the microbes, all the bacteria, the good natural organic material that you need. So we're gonna take this box here and cut it up and then lay it down flat. And I think that box is about the right size that we need. Also, I don't know if that tomato, this is the one giant tomato. So let me show you. There was no other tomato. That was a pepper. That was a pepper. That was a pepper. You can see the peppers on it. See? Pepper. These are peppers. That was also a pepper right there. And then we got some really good, nice mint right here. This mint is sprawling out pretty nicely here. It's going to take over. But this is the monstrous root ball to that tomato plant. Now they didn't keep it soaked all winter. They just covered it and kept it shielded from the winter, from the cold and stuff. But it needed to continuously be watered to see if it would have kept growing. So I don't think that. I think it's stunted now. We were gonna see if it would grow through to this season, but I don't think that's gonna happen here. Uh-oh. I've been wondering where these went. Oh my gosh. These have been in here since like before the winter. Okay. So that's where they went. That's funny. All right, so we're just gonna soak this and get this prepared for some new growth, new seeds. I don't know what we're gonna put in here. I do have some other tomatoes that we can put in, just straight up whole tomatoes. that came from this garden, from that plant specifically. But we got some lavender here. And then we got a little bit of flowers, some clover here around the sides, and there were some other flowers. So we'll just get this soaked and see if anything comes up. And also I threw a whole lot of seeds back here. So we should get some wild flowers just growing back here. I do need to get rid of the milkweeds and all these weeds back here. But yeah, we should be able to get some flowering here soon. It is the end of February and it is extremely warm. Usually we have winter. It's cold usually through March, even into April. The first time I ever went snowboarding back in 1997, it was April 17th, 1997. I will always remember that. It was my very first experience with snowboarding, and I loved it so much, and I remember having the tag on my jacket forever. So I always remember that date. April 17th of 2007. Wait. 1997. I'm like, wait, no, not 2007, 1997. All right, so we're gonna soak up this area. I don't know if anything's gonna grow here. Some of this stuff might have flowered, so we're just gonna soak it and see if anything grows. Oh look, there's some garlic. The garlic actually finally came up. That's nice. So these are some sort of flowering plants. A summer jewel, which was pink. This is also a summer jewel, and then this was basil here. So we'll see if anything comes up around here, if it just seeded itself naturally. That is a Hugo Coulter mound. Hugo Coulter, you bury wood underneath the soil, which is kind of like what we're going to do here with the cardboard. And then the wood will break down over time and constantly give nutrient to the earth, to the soil, and will continuously help to grow, and you'll have nutrients in your garden bed for years and years to come, especially if you use some really good hardwoods and things. This is where we had one of the watermelons growing last year, but it never fruited. So how you guys doing today? Let me make sure we have the and this is the Hugo Coulter. Let me see if I can get the live comments on with one hand here. All right, there's the live chat. So this basically is a bunch of like sticks, some branches, but nothing like really too serious, and then a whole bunch of like twigs, and then compost, and then just dirt, and then you're supposed to add more compost on top of it, and then eventually like it'll just get bigger and bigger. And I'm gonna move this Hugo Coulter mound actually, because I think it's too close to this this area here. Maybe we'll just build it bigger and it'll get really large. But let's do what we're supposed to be doing here and work on our system. There's a little lettuce plant right here. We'll make sure that gets soaked. And also we have a strawberry plant right here that needs some watering. And this bed also has asparagus that we cut back, and it's supposed to grow bigger this year. So we'll see what happens with it. But asparagus and strawberries are supposed to be able to grow together. They're a companion plant for some reason. And then the far end over here is sunflowers. So get these moist. All right, and let's get this spot now. So we're just gonna soak this area here. And then we're gonna lay the cardboard down right on top of it. And then it should promote a bunch of microbes, microorganisms, a lot of good organic bacterias to help to really promote this soil and get it to grow back. And then we're going to use the cardboard, and cardboard kind of is, you know, you got to remember where paper comes from. It comes from trees. And so it's kind of like doing like hugelkultur, where we're going to get a thin layer of cardboard, and it's going to allow it to break down quicker than, you know, branches, sticks, you know, tree trunks, things like that. But hugelkultur, I guess it's a German term. Hugel, Hugel, and then Kultur is Kulture. Hugelkultur, and it's basically mimicking like what the forest does naturally. You know, like when you have a tree that falls, and then over time, wherever that tree has fallen, you're gonna see a bunch of leaves, debris, you know, things blowing up against it. It's gonna build its own natural berm up, which is then going to, and look, you can see where the water's puddling, right? So that's the low spot. I might need to just move some dirt over some, or bring some of this mound in a little bit. All right, let's just let that soak. So the hugelkultur basically just mimics what a natural forest floor does. You can see how all that water is puddled to this side and not that side. So we're gonna just scrape this and bring it lower. Water always finds its level. Water always is on a flat plane. Water will always be flat and find itself. So water is a really good level, natural level. We're just gonna have to scrape this down some so we can get that water to flow onto this side as well and into those rake berms there. Because we don't want it to just be wet on one side. We really want to get this nice and level here. Here, I'm gonna put you guys down and you guys can just watch me work here for a second. And then my rake, it's all janky, so don't laugh at me if it breaks. This whole side is a lot higher than the rest of it. I'm gonna have to scrape this down. But like I said, water will always find its level. See? It broke. Sorry about that. The camera just fell over. Holy cow. There we go. I thought you guys were gonna have to watch me upside down now. Okay, there we go. Sorry, the wind blew the box and it hit the phone. Get my other tool here, the hula hoe. This will help bring it down some. So this layer here is all clay. Just scraping clay right now. So this hula hoe, this is one of my favorite tools that I got. It works really good. Alright, let's see what that does. Don't laugh at me. I need to get a new rake. Alright. I'm just going to soak it again and then see how the water lands. See where it pulls up. See, now it's coming more this way. Which is good. See, it was pulling up way over here in this corner. Now it looks like it's going to trickle back down this way. This is what I wanted it to do. That's good. scrape it a little bit flatter. Now most of the water's on this side. I'll have to get me a new ring. It's stuck in the mud. And now you can see I might have moved the mud over just a little bit too much. Alright, that's pretty good. That's about as flat as I can get it. That looks good. It looks like I just poured some cement. Sweet. So what's going on? How you guys doing? You enjoying this? Do you like watching others work hard? So this is fun work though. I really love working with the yard and things like this here. So let's put the cardboard down now. we're just gonna lay this down just like this. Maybe we don't need these edges here. Add these strips towards the ends here. Try to just close it up some. Try to get as much of this cardboard in here as possible. Slippery when wet. All right. Bunch of other pieces of cardboard. And we'll put it in the center right here. And I think it actually unfolds perfectly. You might only need just one of them. Awesome. Look at that. Oh man, I can't ask for anything better than that. Sweet. Now we're going to soak the cardboard. And now that this is all sunk in, I'll try to go around and flatten it a little bit better in some of these spots here. And now we're gonna take the mound that's over here and we're just gonna cover all the cardboard as level as possible. we just cover it up evenly, just like that. End up building up a berm on the end here. That is how it's done. Alright, so that, guys, is how it's done, and looks pretty good. I'll go through and I'll give it a nice little, just flatten it out a little bit better. I also have this dirt right here that I need to use, so I'm just gonna move you guys some. And then we'll just do our best to flatten it out. And along that edge, I don't know if you guys saw that Roadrunner just jumped down right over my head. That was cool. I hope I caught that on camera. That was a Roadrunner. Right, so then this cardboard stays right there. Just build up a berm on this side here, and we'll know where to hold the water in. And then we got to start digging out the other side. And this might actually just become like a tiered garden now. I don't know, we'll see. And then after that, and you just soak it again. And we'll get that berm nice and wet so then it can get hardened. Go along the edge here so that can harden some. But pretty much all that cardboard is right in the center of this like little alleyway here, this garden bed. We could probably put 2 rows in each one of these sections here that I'm going to be digging out. So basically that's how that's done. And then I'm just going to start the next row, which is just going to be directly underneath that berm right there. And we're just going to dig this area out. And I've already like pre-done this, so the soil should be pretty soft. That's really soft already. Then we just scrape it out like we did before. Try to keep it level. And we want to go as wide as a sheet of cardboard, which, you know, is whatever size you're working with. Pretty good. And then we just do the same thing over and over again until we can complete this whole area here. eyeball this. And after that, then you go back in and you scrape it to soften it. And then re-level. So like I said, I added compost in there last year. That's making a big difference. It's not full of clay right here. It's a lot better. And then we water it and see if it's level. Water the berms. Actually, not that. We shouldn't water that one there. But we'll water this one at the end so that one can harden. And then let's see how well this is leveled here. Actually looking really good. cardboard. Okay. Cool. Then we soak that, then we cover it. and then we soak it one last time, guys. And that's pretty much it, guys. You can see there's a little bit of a puddling right there. I can just add some more dirt there and level it off. But that is the new cardboard experiment on how to amend the soil. And it should bring the soil back, bring the microbes back from what I've seen in all the different videos on YouTube. It seems to work really well. And then also just putting the cardboard in on the bottom of your garden beds and then adding a little bit of dirt, a little bit of cardboard, a little bit of dirt, make a lasagna style garden. Also really does help as well. And then I've also seen the no dig gardens where you don't dig at all. You just simply lay the cardboard down right on your lawn, on your dirt, and then you just throw soil, growing soil, topsoil, compost, just right on top of that, and it's a no dig garden. So what I'm doing right now, though, it's a lot of work digging it out, but I'm really trying to get into the soil here and really amend it without having to add a lot of soil into it. And then we have a compost pile here, and also we have all this compost right here, which I'm going to put this on top of each row here, and then I'm also going to soak that. So I'm going to soak these one last time as well, but we're going to get the rest of these going. So we got 2 more to go. So however long that took, we got about that much more time to go today. I let my client know that I can probably stay till about 3:30 today. So I got some time, I believe. And yeah, I'm gonna let you guys go. If you have any comments or any questions right now, now's a good time to ask. And if you're watching after the live stream, just go ahead, comment below. Let me know if you have any questions, if you have any concerns, if you have any tips, any tricks, anything else that you would like to add. One thing that we'll probably end up doing is adding some mushroom compost to these again, and then also just the compost that we've been been just piling up leaves and a bunch of grass and a bunch of mulch and a bunch of stuff and turning it throughout the winter time, and it should be ready for this growing season coming up really soon. So this garden should actually be a lot better this year compared to what it has been. And I'm really excited to see what we're gonna grow this year. I mean, we grew the record, I don't know if it's a record, like world record or anything like that, but for us it was a record size tomato plant that we've never seen. We're like, what is going on with this ginormous plant? It could have grown up into a tree. I don't know if it was just the type of seed that we had. I don't even remember. I don't know if we put a label or if we have the package from last year to see what sort of tomato we actually grew. But it was huge. Record, like it just kept on producing tomatoes non-stop. We didn't know what to do. We ended up just letting a bunch of them just go to waste at the end because no one would come and pick them up. I mean, you can still see some of the tomato remnants from the ones we didn't get. So yeah, there was some tomatoes left over, and we did the best we could. It stayed warm though throughout the winter, so it was like they just kept growing and kept growing throughout December. But then it started to freeze, and then it was getting cold, and then the green tomatoes froze, and then it didn't do too well. But thank you for tuning in and watching. I don't know if anyone's asked any questions here. Let me just tap the phone here and see if we have any comments or anything. But yeah, these look really good. Only 2 more to go, and then I'll be done with this area of the yard. And then we have a bunch more work to do, a lot more stuff. I'm going to be pruning some of the roses here so we can help to promote those to grow back, and just whatever else that we can do and that needs to be done here today. But thank you so much for tuning in and watching. I'm going to go turn this water off. Let me just check real quick. We got any comments here? Oh, I see True Indica is here. Hello. All good? Yes, everything is all good actually. A quick update. I may be moving into a new place on Sunday, on the 1st. I'm working hard right now. I'm like, I think $200 or $300 shy of what I need to pay him. And yeah, like I'm that much, I'm really close now. Only 200 or 300. I went from like 400 to now I'm like only, I think 200. I think so. And that should happen, I think, tomorrow. I'll be $100 closer. So we'll see what happens this weekend. But I'm really stoked that I get to move in with this new individual and get to find out what he's all about, what he's like, and I'm gonna make a new friend. So thank you for tuning in and watching. This is the front yard garden that we've been growing. We had some pumpkins growing here for a little while, but those didn't really pan out. But yeah, we're gonna finish up these. I don't know what we're gonna do as far as corn and things like that, but we'll see what happens. We might also just plot this whole thing out all the way across to the water meter right here, and just do this whole thing. Move the hugelkultur. Maybe I'll put a hugelkultur right here instead, directly in the middle of the yard, and that way there's a mound that you can walk through and you can pick food right here. So maybe we're just going to move this whole entire mound over to here and redo this whole section, and maybe bring out this garden, or maybe do it like, you know, small sections. Maybe do a little section here and then another section here. I don't know, I'm not really sure, but we're going to start over here, and that's about it. Thank you for tuning in and watching. Thanks for asking if all good. I appreciate that, True Indica. I'll let you guys see the new place here really soon. Hopefully we can go and check it out on Sunday. I don't know, I'm not sure if I'll be getting the key on Sunday or what. I told them it's no rush for me. I have places to stay, so it's no rush really. And but it'd be nice to move into my new place. All right, with that being said, I'm gonna let you guys go so I can finish up these last 2. Love and blessings. You guys have a beautiful day. I'm out.